Hello, I'm Bill Ferguson. Have you ever been depressed? Well, being depressed is very, very painful. When you're depressed, you've got no power. Life is on top of you. You lose your confidence, you lose your energy, everything becomes negative, you have no hope, life is no fun at all. And then in that state of negativity, we interact negatively, which then compounds the problem. So depression is very, very painful, very, very destructive, and most all the time easily avoidable. Now, there may be the chemical aspects of depression. I'm not an expert in the chemical aspects of depression, but I know a lot about the mental aspects of depression. And from what I've seen, most all the time when we're depressed, it's purely mental. So let's talk about what happens, what creates depression. So we all have this hurt, this childhood hurt of worthless, not good enough, not worth loving, that sort of thing. And this hurt is constantly being triggered and brought to the surface. And ultimately it's being brought to the surface so that it can be purged. But it's constantly coming up. Well, subconsciously, this emotion is perceived as a threat, so we push it down. And it comes up again, we push it down again, it comes up again, we push it down again. But sometimes the circumstances of life are so big, they're so huge, that the hurt gets triggered and we can't push it down. Well, this hurt is still threatening, and we want to do anything we can to avoid feeling it, so we do two things that results in depression. One of the things that we do is we withdraw. We withdraw from life. And one of the things about withdrawing is that the more you withdraw, the more your thinking becomes negative, which produces all sorts of negative consequences. The other thing that happens, to avoid this hurt, not only do we withdraw, but we become at the effect of whatever the circumstance is that we're resisting. Now, the circumstance is just the circumstance. It just is what it is. And we're fighting it. And in our fighting it, we give it all of our power. We make it the cause, and then simultaneously, we make us the effect. We put ourselves at the effect. And when you're at the effect, you're powerless. There's nothing you can do about it. You're the victim. So what happens is that this hurt gets triggered. The circumstances are so big we can't push it down. So we withdraw and we become at the effect of the circumstance. And in that state of being at the effect, the combination of being at the effect and withdrawing creates the depression. So to reverse all of this, you got to do the opposite of what creates it. So first, you want to find and heal these deeper issues that are being triggered. Look to see what, find the specific circumstances that you're resisting. What are you resisting or hanging on to? And then look and see what is the hurt that's being triggered. And the hurt will always be the hurt of feeling in some way not okay, not good enough, not worth loving, worthless, failure, don't count, don't matter, something like that. And it is never, never, never the truth. It's just a suppressed emotion, but it's a suppressed emotion that we're going to do almost anything to avoid feeling. So you want to find what that suppressed emotion is and then heal it. The moment you do that, the circumstance loses power. The next thing is that you want to do the opposite of what actually creates the depression. You want to do the opposite of withdrawing, and you want to do the opposite of being at the effect. The opposite of withdrawing is to participate in life. Be active. Find things that you love to do and do them. Be with friends. Be out in the world. Exercise. Whatever it is that would be the opposite of withdrawing, that's what you want to do. When you withdraw, you lose energy fast. But when you're out in the world, you gain energy. You grow energy. Then the next thing is you want to get your power back. You want to shift from being at the effect to being back at cause. And the way you do that is to find what you're resisting, what's the circumstance you're resisting, and then surrender to it. Be willing for all of your fears to come true. Be willing for your situation to never change. Not in your actions, but in your heart. In your actions, you do whatever you need to do to have your life be great. But in your heart, if it happens, it happens. The moment you let go and surrender, the fear, upset, and tunnel vision loses power. You restore your ability to see clearly. You become very effective. The other thing that happens is that you shift from being at the effect to being at cause. See, because the natural state is being at cause. It's only when we fight the truth of something do we lose our power. Because we make it the cause, we make us the effect. So find what you're resisting or hanging on to, and then be willing for your fears to come true, be willing for it to never change. Get your peace back. Then, from that state of peace, look to see, okay, given that this is the truth of what's going on, I hate it that this is what's going on, but it is what's going on. Well, given that these are the facts, what action do I need to take? Then create a plan. What do you now need to do, given that that's the truth of the way things are? So like, for example, if somebody's left you in a relationship, well, you want to heal the hurt and look to see, okay, what do I need to do now? I need to create a new life. I need to find things that I love to do. I need to be out in the world. So create a plan of action and then throw yourself into that plan of action. And the moment you do that, you shift from being at the effect to being at cause. You get your power back. So what creates depression is fighting this hurt. The circumstances come along, they're so big that you can't push it down. So then you do the two things that create the depression. You withdraw and you become at the effect. So to be free of the depression, to turn it around, do the opposite. Find what the hurt is that's being triggered, heal that. Do the opposite of withdrawing. Be active, be out in life. And then shift from being at the effect to being at cause. Surrender to the truth, create a plan of action, throw yourself into it. And as you do that, the depression loses power and you start creating a great life. So don't allow yourself to be depressed. If you're ever in a state of depression, get out of it very, very fast because it's very, very destructive. Life is too short to have it be anything less than wonderful, particularly when you have it within you the ability to create a great life.